Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2022 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of April, and this reading is for the Earth sign of Capricorn. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. As always, thanks for taking the time to be here, for watching these videos, your likes, shares, subscribes, support, feedback, comments, those of you who reach out for personal readings. It's always welcome and always appreciated. Okay, Capricorn, this reading is for you for the last 2 weeks of April 2022. That's if your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Capricorn. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Capricorn. It's a general reading, so of course it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. If you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, watch them because each one can provide some additional insight and perspective. And if you find that something does resonate with you enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. And I try to be fairly timely in my scheduling, so message me if you're interested. You can also get that contact info by clicking the description link, that little arrow. Okay, Capricorn, let's see what the last 2 weeks of April 2022 look like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Capricorn, we begin with the Chariot, success on a difficult path, being very ambitious, not losing sight of your goals, success that comes from, that isn't easy. You may get knocked down 9 or 10 times, but it's that 10th time you get up and keep going that you win. It's a card of winning because you refuse to give up. With the Six of Cups, family, roots of origin, things that you have a historical connection with, children. Next, we have the Devil, negative toxic cycles, addictions, obsessions, unhealthy patterns. But we cling to them because they're difficult to break. Something in there tells us we need them. With the Emperor, father figure. This can also represent control, discipline, domineering. It's also a card of responsibility and accountability. But the Devil with the Emperor can represent one specific person that you're having issues with. They're a control freak, right? Very dominant character. It can represent that some of you there's a toxic level of control or wanting to be in control. Whether that's you or whether that's another person that's significant to you. It can also represent that someone is using a substance like alcohol or drugs or something like that in order to make them feel like they're in control in a situation where they feel like they're not in control. Because you're struggling with something here. It may be that you have a specific black and white linear definition of what success is. I mean, the Six of Cups is the thing that you find difficult and frustrating. This could be family. I don't know, maybe you have a large family, or it's something that you have been doing for a long time, because the Six of Cups is attached to family or things that you have a long history with. And so there's a challenge here. It may be that you're dealing with a difficult family member, like a parent that's a control freak, or a husband, or even a boss, really. It's a situation you've been in for some time, but that you're struggling with. For some of it, it might be within you. Like you have an idea of what your perfect life or your perfect person, or, you know, if you're a mom, what a perfect mom is supposed to look like, or if you're a dad, what a perfect dad is supposed to look like, and you can't quite seem to do it, and you feel like you're failing or you're a failure or something like that. It's this toxic kind of cycle. And it may be that you have an unhealthy way of dealing with it, or the person close to you has an unhealthy way of dealing with it, whether it's actual substances or just behavior patterns, you know, and so it just keeps going around and around and around. Next, we have Justice. The reap what you sow card, it represents the right thing, the fair and equitable balance thing. It represents balance, right? Because that's justice, what justice really means. Honor, ethics, transparency, honesty. Because you can't be fair and equitable if there's no transparency and honesty, right? And justice is the reap what you sow card too, which also means that the outcome of something depends on, what you put into it. And I don't mean just banging yourself out and running yourself ragged and crazy if you're the one that has the control issue, or you need to reframe the picture you have of what your perfect happy life is supposed to be like. Let me see what comes with justice. The High Priestess, intuition, gut instinct, higher self. Different people call it different things. This is our connection with the divine, or whatever you might choose to call that. This is really trying to use your intuition to figure out what the best thing here is. And only real transparency and real honesty will help that become clear to you. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and guidance for the last 2 weeks of April is the Three of Coins. So teamwork, collaboration, a group of people who are kind of focused on one primary goal and trying to figure out how to collaborate on how best to do that. Maybe you're trying to work with some people on, how do you restructure your life so that it doesn't feel quite so overwhelming and helpless to you. Again, I feel quite strongly that there's major control issues here. Thinking things need to be a certain way, and when they're not, perhaps you feel like a failure. And when that happens, you slide into unhealthy behavior patterns to deal with that. And it may be that you need more help. It may be that you need to restructure the way that you're looking at what your life is supposed to be like. And find better and healthier ways of dealing with it and getting more help and resources at the same time. Let's clarify a little bit. That Three of Coins, collaboration, teamwork as overall energy. The Ace of Cups, new beginnings, emotional awakening, self-love and value. Facing your strength, facing your fears, doubts, insecurities, looking at the part that you've had to play in this as well. The Five of Cups, overcoming regret, sorrow, loss. This feels like people are actively trying to help you, Capricorn, to kind of get a new lease on life and take a look at what led to this and how it can be managed or restructured. Clarify the Chariot. The Tower, unexpected events which cause the breakdown or shakeup of something. The Seven of Wands, defensive, protective, guarding energy. The Ten of Cups, the happy home card. This feels like it's family related. Clarify the Six of Cups. Something to do with the home, the family. The Six of Cups again, and the Hermit. This feels like you've been feeling like you have the weight of the world on your shoulder. And because of that, something happened. And now you're trying to get help to try and figure out how to move forward and do this in a different way, a healthier way. Clarify the Devil. The Empress, mother, maternal energy, fertility. Maybe some of you, this is trying to manage family, home, maybe trying to manage work-life balance, meaning a balance between having a family, a home, and a job, a career. It could also, for some of you, have something to do with your mother or parent, if they're the ones that are having, control issues or issues with going into unhealthy behavior patterns when they feel like they don't have control over things. But I feel like for many of you, it's primarily you. Just feeling overwhelmed. But every time that happens, you go back into this unhealthy behavior pattern. The Two of Swords is an issue here as well. Being reluctant and resistant to actually looking at the truth of a matter, the truth of a situation. Seven of Swords, not being completely honest, because no problem can get solved unless you're honest about everything that's involved in it. Clarify justice and the High Priestess. Judgment, a major crossroads trying to figure out, this is very similar to your sister sign Taurus's reading. In the midst of a difficult situation, trying to figure out what the best way forward is, because you can't continue doing things the way you have been. It's like chaos and falling apart. So you're at a major crossroads here and trying to figure out how to move forward to make the decisions that you feel are the best decisions possible. Particularly in terms of honor and ethics and honesty and transparency as well. And the High Priestess, because it's a card of intuition and gut instinct, it can also represent that you have an intuitive understanding of what the right path is here. Guidance, advice, feedback for Capricorn. Maybe feel, overwhelmed. Guidance, advice, feedback. The Queen of Pentacles, there you are, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Hanging Man, the Four of Swords. You know what? Taurus got these too for advice and guidance. Now is not quite the right time to act because things are still playing out. You're still gaining information, so no decisive action just yet. The Four of Swords can represent taking a temporary time out, a temporary step back to rest, recover, recuperate, and in doing so, gain a different perspective. Temperance. Being in the middle, neither too much of one nor too much of the other. Moderation. Learning how to adjust to deal with unexpected things that you cannot control that comes in. Because I feel like control is the root thing here. Feeling like you have to have control over things. Feeling like you have this picture of what... I swear I thought I heard the door open. Weird. A picture of what you think things should be looking like or how you should be performing or something. Temperance represents kind of like being in the middle of a seesaw or a teeter-totter. When you're in the center, you have your feet grounded, like you know who you are and what you can do and what you can't do, and you can't do everything. Then, that's your truth. That's your place of stability. The arms of the seesaw or teeter-totter, they represent things you have no control over, things that come in or things that happen. And you have you can't control them, right? But if you feel like you have to control everything, then everything that's unexpected that happens, you leave your center and you're like all over the place. You're losing your balance. You're falling. That's a lack. That's the problem here, is there's this unhealthy cycle of that happening. Temperance is about not allowing those things to pull you out of your emotional center. Even if you have to deal with them physically, it's not allowing them to have that emotional control over you. And if that's something that you don't have control over, then working with the people around you to figure out how you can have better control, whether it's different habits, different patterns, perhaps medication, counseling, or a combination of all of those things. Yeah, the Ace of Swords, illumination, new information, new perspective, a new idea, a new way of proceeding. So now is not the time to take drastic action, in terms of saying, I'm just going to walk away from all of this kind of stuff or something like that. It's about waiting, learning, and modifying and restructuring. And it does look like you have at the very least, you have help around you to do that, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, those are your messages for the last 2 weeks of April 2022. I hope you found them helpful and useful. Again, if you did, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, perhaps take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. You can also get that contact info by clicking the description link below. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the May general readings. Can you believe May is almost here already? Stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.